He's only slightly shorter at 6'7", and with the biggest wingspan, Struve will have a 4.5-inch reach advantage. With the main event introductions, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Ben Cartledge, Mark Collette, and Andy Roberts. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Mark Goddard. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, live from Rotterdam, Netherlands, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a Muay Thai kickboxer holding a professional record, 32 wins, 8 losses. He stands 6 feet 11 and 1/2 inches tall, weighing in at 264 pounds. Fighting out of Beverwijk, the Netherlands, presenting the number 8 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Stefan Skyscraper Struve. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 28 wins, 6 losses. He stands 6 feet 7 inches tall, weighing in at 251 pounds. Fighting out of Moscow, Russia, presenting the number 7 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Alexander Drago Volkov.
Okay, gentlemen, you understand the rules. You're fighting under. Listen to me. All times, keep yourself protected. When I say stop, you stop. Touch gloves. Let's do this.
Time for the main event. Alexander Volkov versus Stefan Struve. Thank you, Luciana. All set for the first round. Maximum of 5 5s in the heavyweight division. Volkov has been smiling all the way through. Struve with a much more serious expression. Interestingly, Volkov comes in here as the slim favourite. He's also the higher ranked opponent.
A very Muay Thai style feeling out process here. Both standing in a very upright stance, feeling each other out.
Semi-Schilt in the corner of Alexander Volkov, Dutch legend, K1 and mixed martial arts.
Nice low kick block from Stefan Struve. Volkov pushes forward with a couple of feeling out punches. Good jab from Stefan Struve.
We've been talking lots about it, Dan, his trip over to, or his frequent trips over to South Florida to work with Henry Hooft has really rounded out the game of Struve.
He's already looking much more like a Thai boxer in the way he stands and the way he throws. His checking of the inside low kick was always a telltale sign. Here we go, very nice. Chopping inside low kick, checked by Drago.
Having said that, Volkov uses his height very, very well. Probably the first time he's ever faced someone taller than him. Conversely, Struve is used to fighting guys of this height. He grew up in the Netherlands, as you spoke about in the walkouts. Everyone around here is tall.
Yeah.
He was kickboxing with 6'9" guys when he was a very young man.
Even working with his brother, who's a decent height as well, probably about the same size as Volkov himself. Now Volkov landed a jab there that looked like it wobbled Struve for a second, so let's keep an eye on that. It was a jab right to the mouth of Stefan Struve. Nice, look at that. Head kick attempt, Volkov catches it, but this could be playing into Struve's hands. He might want a grappling match in this one. Lots of pressure on the Dutch fighter here, John.
Well, that's because more than half of Volkov's wins have come in the first round. and he has 18 knockouts,
Oh!
KOs,
Oh!
26 victories, but his chin is being well and truly tested here.
Uppercut right hand from Struve, both landed on Volkov.
Both
Nice.
fighters having some success early on in this main event.
Good knee to the midsection there. Volkov looks like such a disciplined striker, really taking his time. Don't seem to be too fazed by anything coming in his direction so far. But Stefan Struve is looking like a much improved striker.
Struve said a finish will be served.
Volkov switching his stance, giving Struve a different look, possibly opening up that body kick. There it is.
Slams that into the midsection of the skyscraper.
I expect Struve to return, especially because he's not too concerned about the takedown in this one. If he ends up on his back, he'll be setting up triangles.
Volkov, a martial artist since he was 9 years of age. A real traditionalist who's turned into a mixed martial artist.
Struve doing an excellent job with that lead knee and the rear teep. Volkov with his mouth open. Not quite the smile on his face that he had for the first 2 minutes of the round. Oh, and another uppercut
Nice
from
uppercut by
Struve.
Struve.
Echoes of the Stipe Miocic finish.
Struve, mobile in the centre of the octagon. He has overcome some really serious health issues and injuries over the years.
Good knee to the stomach.
That was very nicely placed by Volkov.
Buckled Struve's posture for a second.
Typically, we've seen Struve struggle in the early rounds in the UFC.
He's got such heart though, John.
Yeah, absolutely, he's doing so well tonight.
We've not seen Volkov against any adversity so far in his octagon career. Oh, nice. Jumping knee, that cut Volkov. It looks like there's a cut under the eye of Volkov. I see blood on the chest of Struve.
It is, but he's now raining down with some big elbows.
Immediately there's some urgency in Volkov's attack. He knows that cut's probably in a bad position.
Trying to pass through the defences of Stefan Struve.
Good defense from Struve on the bottom, but some of these shots are getting through.
Let's not forget Struve has 17 submission wins, but he's going to have to recover. 10 seconds left in this opening round as Volkov comes through with some serious ground and pound.
There's a good knee from Stefan Struve, right onto the cheekbone of Alexander Volkov.
Good outputs from both of these giants.
So they started with a feeling out process, but it's clear that Stefan Struve's looking for a few particular techniques. That rear uppercut that he used against Miocic a few years back, and then the stepping in knee, the skip knee that he's been using, but that uppercut's finding its range. But the cut at the end of the round was caused by that glancing knee. Caught him across the cheekbone, opened him up pretty good. That's a good cut. It's below the eye, so it won't be bleeding into his eye. It shouldn't stop the fight, but it's certainly something to look at for the doctors. Certainly something for Struve to work on in the next round.
That is a decent piece of furniture on the left eye of Volkov. Round number 2.
The first one usually being a strong one for Volkov. Good work from both guys, especially Volkov to finish strong, but Struve obviously did the most damage in that fight. You can see on the face of Alexander Volkov. Struve stepping over with that big right hand.
Volkov isn't the only one who's sought training out in the US. He's been over to King's MMA and Black House in the past. For this one, he very much stayed at home with his coach Taras.
Interestingly, John, it's the nose as well of Volkov that's bleeding. I'm not sure whether that knee caught him across the nose as well as the cheekbone, but it's definitely affecting his breathing. You can see his mouth's open. It's far more laboured. He's He's not able to breathe through that nose at this point.
Well, look at the size of that knee, Dan. Of course it hit him in the nose and the eye.
It nearly hit me when he threw it. Stefan Struve starting to relax into his game a little bit now. A little more confident in his movement forward.
Yeah, a light-footed approach from Struve tonight.
Oh, a nice inside low kick. Took the pace away of Struve for a second, who pops immediately back to his feet. Oh, the skip knee again. Volkov may be wise to that after the damage of the first round.
Do you think that Struve has to be a little bit careful with those, Dan? Jumping in, it's kind of direct.
There is a risk. There is a risk. The fight that immediately comes to mind is Andrei Arlovski against Fedor.
Oh,
the big overhand that caught him and knocked him out.
So I remember that well. So we have an eye poke, which is going to be dealt with by the doctor. He'll investigate this.
Drago seems fine. Both of his eyes are open. He's focused on the clock for a second, which is always a good sign.
Let's take a look at it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Index finger in the corner of the eye.
So we have to be a little bit careful of that going forward. Obviously, the new rules in effect here in Rotterdam. That is why.
Now, Mark Goddard did say it was accidental there, but obviously, if it happens again, you've got to think that there's a point deduction there because it does affect the outcome of the fight. I have to say, John, I've said it before, a redesign of the gloves is definitely on the cards. We have to look at making these gloves more curved so the hand doesn't spring open when you put the new glove on. Volkov now getting wise to that uppercut. He's dropping his lead elbow to block it as it's coming in, but that could also set up the overhand right for Stefan Struve if he's reading his opponent well. There it is! He spotted it.
Struve set a hell of a pace here, Dan.
He has. But with so much experience in the octagon, he knows where to find rest now. He knows how to manage the pace. Oh, look at that.
Lovely uppercut.
Nice uppercut. Oh, and another one.
Answered back by Struve. Struve has really kind of grown up before us, Dan, hasn't he? And he would say himself, he's earned his credentials on the world's toughest proving ground.
He has, against some of the toughest fighters in the world. You've got to think, you know, obviously it's an advantage to be as tall as he is in any sport, but a disadvantage in the beginnings of his career, because who's going to take a fight against a 6'11" guy? I mean, it must be so difficult for him to find competition that when he joined the UFC, he had this plethora of competition coming in his direction, but it was all world class.
Volkov is finding a little bit more force coming forwards. He's biting down on that gum shield.
Struve taking some shots as Volkov's pushing forward.
Volkov foraging for openings to the body, to the head.
Well warmed by Stefan Struve. Goes for the high kick. Still, it's Volkov taking the deep breaths with the busted nose.
Struve now with good health, with his mindset right. He's really looking for the nutrients of all of that training to manifest. Oh, but that is very unfortunate.
Come here. No, not above the eye. Not above the eye. Stay there. Welcome. Come here. Stay away from your corner, my friend. Stay here. Take your time. Look at me. Look at me. Can you see?
Yeah, I guess.
No. Take your time. Look at me. Tell me you can see. You want the doctor? We'll bring him in. Can you see?
Yeah.
You can see. Stay there. Stefan, listen.
I believe it's the other eye now, Dan. Let's take a look at it.
Same thing again, John. Reaching out with that extended hand. Hand open.
That extended hand.
Yeah,
keep your hand straight.
Exactly, yeah. It is extended when it's Stefan Struve's hand.
You can see me?
Yeah.
You're happy?
I hope that Volkov is...
Okay, let's go.
Okay,
last time.
It's good to continue. Such an unfortunate occurrence in mixed martial arts.
A part of the issue, John, is that we spar in boxing gloves. You don't have to close your hand in boxing gloves. Something they use in at the American Top Team when I was training there. They use the old Bruce Lee Bong Sao Enter the Dragon gloves, which gives some covering of the fingers. Might be worth thinking about possibly redesigning a sparring glove for mixed martial arts. John, I'm coming out with all kinds of business ideas for this.
Don't give them
fight.
away, Dan. We can do something when we put these microphones down.
Right. Struve still pushing forward. Volkov seeming unfazed by the eye pokes, but certainly Struve has to be careful now because there's a point deduction looming if it happens again.
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, He was caught with the open palms there.
Clearly not intentional though. I don't believe that these fighters are intentionally trying to poke each other in the eye. It's just an occupational hazard, I'm afraid, with the way that the gloves are cut and the ferocity of this sport. Sometimes it happens.
Volkov hasn't made a minute of it either, Dan.
No, he hasn't.
He's looked to get back to the action as soon as he can. Much respect to him there. As he comes forward with that familiar combination, breaking through the defences of Stefan Struve.
It's a very evenly matched fight so far. I'm surprised that we've not seen Stefan Struve attempt to clinch and work for a takedown a little more. I expected his advantage in this one to be on the ground, but he's allowing Volkov to start coming on strong here, moving forward and landing combination punches. Look at that again.
There. That was a big right hand by Volkov. Struve covering up. He's coming under fire now.
I have to say his defense is looking better though. Even though he's taking these shots, he's wearing them better than he has before.
Volkov with a quick step forward.
Good work from the Russian fighter.
Exciting stuff here in the heavyweight division.
A really evenly matched bout between these two fighters. Back and forth action. Let's take a look at this. So you can see Stefan Struve, the majority of the time, was pushing forward, kept trying that skip knee, but every time Volkov feels like he's coming into punching range, he's trying to throw back. He's landed some good shots. That uppercut's finding its range. A few times we've seen the head of Stefan Struve snap back, but ultimately nobody is taking hold of this fight so far.
Zoek dan de clinch op. Heel diep neus in, mond uit, heel diep in. Hij mag geen stotenserie maken, Steve.
I don't hear.
Давай собрался.
So you've got to think that Stefan Struve's going to be watching out for those finger points in this round. The extended hand, got to keep his glove closed, got to keep his knuckles towards his opponent. Volkov must feel like he has to come on strong in this round. Now we're getting towards the championship rounds. We've got one round left and then we're into the fourth and fifth. Whose cardio will hold up, whose chin will hold up, and at this stage of the fight, whose face will hold up to the punishment.
Round number 3 and both fighters are wearing the damage as they meet in the centre of the octagon. Struve went into the media saying, hide your neck, hide your arms and hide your legs. The skyscraper is coming. Was he playing possum with that though, Dan?
Well, this has been a very Thai boxing approach from him so far. And I have to say, John, he does look good. He's getting caught with those shots, but he has throughout his career. He's wearing them better in this occasion, but I think we had a double eye poke then.
Listen, think about what you're doing, guys. You've both done it at the same time there, okay? Come on, keep it clean. Keep your hands closed, okay? Both of you. Let's go, time in.
Well handled by Goddard. I would like to see Struve mix it up though, Dan, just see if he can take the big man down.
I'm surprised we've not seen any takedown attempts from him. I was expecting a body lock clinch and some kind of reap takedown, as we've seen him use in these previous fights. But he seems to be quite happy to strike with Volkov. I'm not sure whether he has more respect for his ground game than is necessary or whether he has less respect for his striking than is necessary.
That's a big shot. Last time he landed a real heavy shot here in the Ahoy, he dispatched Bigfoot in 16 seconds.
That right hand of Volkov is finding a home. It landed over the top there. He's mixing it very nicely with the uppercut as well.
I think part of Struve's game, Dan, is grabbing for the arms, and that's sometimes why he's poking the eyes as well. Yes,
without a doubt. To grab the wrist and to step through a knee is what he looks like he's doing a lot of the time. When you've got legs that low, you can bring your knee up to the head height of most opponents.
And you're always overbearing on people,
yes.
So it's something that it just presents itself to you.
Without a doubt. You know, and if we see the Pat Barry fights as well, every time somebody lowers their head, he wraps the neck. He does like to attack with the guillotine choke. So, you know, the knee does play into that a little bit. Buckled leg. A buckled leg from Volkov to Struve there. Nice work again from Volkov.
Wobbling the chin of Struve was Volkov. He does have very nice clean work, doesn't he, Dan?
He's the better ranged striker, like I was saying, John. He's got a better understanding of how to use his reach. A lot of the work that Struve has done has been close range. It's been the uppercut and the knee.
That lean back that Struve was using earlier is not working quite as well for him as we get deeper into the fight.
Well, Drago is now making up that ground. He's realising that Struve is dipping back away from his punches, so he's making that extra 6 inches step in with his feet instead of trying to reach. Again, adjustments to fighting a taller fighter.
Just looking down at the records, Dan, this is the 41st outing for Stefan Struve. He was just 29. Volkov at 28. He's 28-6. Massive records for these fighters.
Loads of experience, particularly at heavyweight, when a lot of these guys don't make it that far into their career without either getting to the top or running into something extremely heavy. Nice shin across the midsection from Struve, but Volkov pushes him off. Continues to move forward behind his clean punches.
Nice work here from Volkov.
Struve goes down.
He puts Struve on the mat.
Volkov's got the power on.
Alexander Drago. Volkov upsets the home fans and gets a TKO win.
The investment in the accurate boxing paid dividends in the 3rd round. Volkov stepping in, covering distance with his feet and landing over the top on the taller man.
3-0 for Drago in UFC competition as he looks to march forward towards title contendership.
It's his first stoppage win in the octagon, and it's his biggest win in the octagon as well. Roy Nelson was a big win, Tim Johnson was a big win, but taking out Stefan Struve in the 3rd round on Rotterdam soil puts him in good stead to climb those rankings.
Very nice, crisp striking. This is how he used to get it done. He'll batter his opponents to the point where he puts their butt on the ground and then he finishes the job.
Really good work from there, and a good stoppage by Mark Goddard as well. Stefan Struve dropped to the seat of his pants there. Clearly had enough.
And they enjoyed it in the corner as well. He certainly knows he's been in a fight tonight. But what a victory he has earned in enemy soil. Let's send it inside to make official. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mark Goddard has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 30 seconds of round number 3, declaring the winner by TKO, Alexander Drago Volkov.
I'm here with your winner. I just need his translator. Here we go. Alexander Volkov, that's an impressive cut you have on your face, my friend. How are you feeling?
Саша, прекрасный бой. Как ты себя чувствуешь? I feel great. Thank you everybody for support here in Rotterdam. So thank you who come here from Russia. Thank you every people from Holland. So thank you everybody. We show a very good show with Stefan. Thank you Stefan Struve for fight. So thank you very much. Спасибо, ребята, все, кто приехал из России поболеть. Я вас слышал. Спасибо.
Can you translate that for me?
Перевожу. Thank you guys from everyone who come from Russia. Thank you all the supporters who supported Stefan. Thank you guys.
Excellent. So take a look at the big screen and talk me through this finish. Were there any problems that you had with the taller fighter? Because you're normally the taller guy, right?
Ты закончил бой финишем. Какие проблемы у тебя были в бою с более высоким соперником, чем ты? На самом деле проблемы были в том, что мы с ним слишком похожи в стиле ведения поединка, поэтому многие вещи мы делали одновременно и одинаково и врезались друг в друга. Но мы подобрали ключ, переждали, и, как я сказал, до 3-го раунда я закончил бой. Actually, the main problem that we are too alike to fighting the same style, and the problem was to change that because usual stuff didn't work. But as I promised, in the 3rd round, I finished the fight.
So that's 3 wins in your UFC career now. That's the biggest one by far. You're looking at the top 10. Who do you want to fight next?
У тебя 3 победы. Ты смотришь наверх. С кем ты хочешь подраться из тех, кто выше тебя сейчас? Мне все равно. Любая победа меня приближает и делает все выше и выше, поэтому мне все равно.